Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. I recently came across a channel that I think you might like. It's called Fauch-O-Matic, and it is by Nick Fauch and Esther Emery. And they are living off-grid, and they're raising children, and they're living a very similar lifestyle to what we're doing here at Shofar Mountain. And so we have a lot in common, and we've done some corresponding back and forth. And I'll put a link to their channel down below. They're the ones who, it was Nick evidently, who said something along the lines of, you know, anything you build's going to be there for a while, so you might as well build it right the first time. Words to that effect. I mentioned that in my Solar Shack video. But they're living an off-grid lifestyle with kids, trying to be self-sufficient, trying to carve, you know, a living out of the wilderness. And, you know, every now and then you start to feel kind of lonely. Right? It's like, wow, we're the only ones doing this. Everybody else has big screen TVs and hot and cold running showers at will and electricity out the wazoo and stuff like that. And then in some emails back and forth, Esther told me, you know, asked me, introduced me to the concept of Christian agrarianism. Google it. It's interesting. I'm not qualified to talk about it yet, but it's basically people of faith who have decided that the way to go is, check this out, come out of her, my people. You know, come away from Babylon and that system and go earn your own way through the land. A back to the land movement for people of faith. You know, these things aren't new. These things go around and around and around. And I'm probably going to have more to say about that later. But right now I'm in the study mode and the learning mode and the thinking mode and the connecting mode. But, you know, you've heard me say, come out of her, my people, come out of those cities, come out of those suburbs. You've heard me say, you know, you need to be a producer, not a consumer. You need to produce for yourself. I'm trying to lead by example and show, you know, community, growing food, producing food, things like that. And it's just nice to know that there's other people out there, and especially other people of faith, who are attempting, doing the same things. And so I'm not the only one out here in the wilderness. You know, there's more of us, and the Most High, God, you know, Yahweh, Yah, Elohim, is calling his people. And he's calling his people to come out of those cities, I think, because he's fixing to judge them. Right? And it's like, hey, come on out, live a simpler life, give up this consumerist mentality, quit desiring all these shiny things, and get back to what's important in life: your family, your friends, most importantly, him, right? Relationships, real relationships. You know, there's something special about breaking bread with other people, sharing a meal together. There's something really special about sharing a meal where everything came from the land, you know, that you or the people you're with produced from the land. It makes us more dependent on him when we realize that, wow, you know, we're not just going to go down to the Walmart or the super grocery store or whatever and buy salmon from the Pacific when you don't live near the Pacific. I don't know. Just thoughts. I'm thinking, I'm really liking my life out here right now. It's quiet. It's simple. It gives us time to be alone. It gives us time to be with other people. Time to think, time to dwell, time to read. There's a simpler life out there. You can have it. You really can. You just have to be willing to give up all those things that society tells you you need. You know, there used to be a time in this world where the farmer, the person who produced the food, was the building block, was the most important person, the most important cog in the wheel, and then everybody else kind of supported the farmer and fed off the farmer, and, you know, literally and figuratively. That time is not anymore. You know, there's whole cities that exist that don't have a farmer in them, you know, and you know, they're focused on finances or oil or, you know, whatever. But that all could be wiped away pretty quickly. Being able to get out on a piece of land, it doesn't have to be big. I've been reading blogs lately about people who are just on like 2.5, 3.5 acres, but they're making it work, and they're living a simpler life. And I know, a lot of y'all watch these channels, my channel, other channels, you read blogs, you read books, you're like, wow, I wish I could do that. Most of you will never do it. Makes me sad, because you could do this. You could. Think about what you really need. Think about what you want and desire, and why do you want and desire that. Come out of her, my people. I'll see you out there.